Hello folks, if you watched the last video I did on Carista, you'll know what Carista is all about, how we get set up, etc. I'm going to jump straight into this. We're now going to look at diagnose. So we're plugged into an Audi A1 here, a Mark 1 Audi A1, and we're going through the diagnosis process. So as you can see, this is reading all the ECUs in the car. A lot of people think a car just has one, but actually they quite often have plenty. So as you can see, wow, look at that. Absolutely no faults in this car. Now, it's not unusual to get a car that seems absolutely fine and actually it picks up a couple of faults. Sometimes it's because a battery's low in a key fob, or you've changed a battery in something, or various weird and wonderful little things. You'll often get fault codes that appear that are not major issues, but yeah, everything is absolutely sweet as a nut in this car, so that's absolutely brilliant. And the kinds of faults it can pick up are basic OBD2 faults, CAN network gateway faults. So the CAN network does all kinds of things within your car, not least things like your steering wheel controls for your stereo, things like that. All sorts of things go through your CAN network. Engine faults, ABS faults, power steering, steering angle, steering wheel, airbags, instrument cluster, infotainment system, immobilizer, heater and air conditioning, parking, steering assist, central electrics, body, convenience system, driver's door and front passenger's door. So all those things, we're in a fairly modern car here, all these things are basically being monitored by various ECUs in the car. Any issues come up, they will pop up on here. Now we're going into the service menu, and you can see that's just running through now. Again, it's reading all those ECUs, it's reading data within the car. And while you're doing this, because it's reading all those ECUs, you sometimes get fault codes ping up on the system. All kinds of different things might happen within the car, weird and wonderful things, just because it's reading all those different things. So service indicator reset is one of the things we can do. I'm not going to do it on this car, it's not mine, I don't know when it was last serviced. But yeah, you can see there you've got service indicator oil change reset and inspection reset. Battery registration, the CAN gateway. So if you put a new battery in this car, it has to be registered to the car. That will cost you a fair bit of money in a dealership, and they might insist you buy one of their batteries. With something like this, maybe you don't have to. Fuel system prime, so use this tool to purge air from the fuel lines after the fuel system's been serviced. This should be used after fuel filter or fuel injector replacement. So if you've done a fuel filter replacement yourself at home as part of a service on your drive, you can of course deal with that yourself, which is great. I mean, imagine having to have that done at a dealership. If you're fairly handy with a set of spanners, know what you're doing, this will let you do it yourself. You can calibrate your throttle body if you've just replaced that. TPMS reset. So this is your tyre pressure monitoring system. So if you're getting errors and the car's constantly telling you that you've got, 1 bar of pressure in one of your tyres, maybe you need to change one of the tyre sensors, you can recalibrate it here and get everything working nicely again. Detailed ECU info. So this one takes a little bit longer to scan, and this is reading much deeper information from the ECU. And some of this stuff in some cars can be extremely useful. Especially perhaps if you're looking at buying a used car, you can find a little bit more out about its true history. Obviously, I always recommend you do a V-check to do this vehicle history report, but there are certain things that might not make it onto that. Like, for example, if the airbags have gone off, if someone's had a little fiddle with the mileage at some point. These are the kind of things that we can pick up in this app in some vehicles. Now, as I said in the first video, the things you can do are very much vehicle dependent. So it may be that in this older Audi A1, we don't have access to as much stuff as we would have in a more modern car, or vice versa. And it may be if you've got a BMW, for example, you get a whole different set of options available to you. If you missed it in the first video, there is a link pinned as the top comment and in the video description that takes you to the Carista website and the page that you can actually check to see if your vehicle's compatible and the kind of things you can do with it using this Carista device. So I'm blocking out the VIN number here, but basically it's giving you the part number and sort of coding for all the different ECUs within the car. which could be very useful if you need to replace one of those. You might be able to do it at much more of a budget than you might have seen elsewhere. Here we've got checking emissions tests. So this is checking for misfire, fuel system, components, catalyst, evaporative system, oxygen sensor heater, and EGR system. And then you can reset that as well. So if you've had a problem, corrected it, you can reset it. So you've got all that in that service menu, folks. Don't forget, this little device is only 35 quid. And if you use my code, 𝑘𝙃𝑒𝑖𝑔𝑢𝑟𝑢25, and the link that's in the video description and pinned as a top comment, you get that from Amazon for 26 quid. You get 25% off with that code, 𝑘𝙃𝑒𝑖𝑔𝑢𝑟𝑢25. This is a fantastic bit of kit. In the next video, we're going to look at doing some customization to this little Audi A1. In the meantime, give this one a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Guys, don't forget to use that link to Amazon that's in the video description and pinned as the top comment to order your Carista device, and use that promo code 𝑘𝙃𝑒𝑖𝑔𝑢𝑟𝑢25 when you're in the checkout on Amazon, and you'll get 25% off. This really is a superb piece of equipment that I encourage all of you to get if you've got a compatible car. Once again, that compatibility checker link is down there for you too. Hope you enjoy the rest of the videos in this series where we look more into what this thing can do.